Once again, the desert is calling, and this time I'm heading to Arizona to chase warmer and drier weather and pedal through the harsh landscape of the Sonoran Desert. I'm eager to ride amongst the variety of prickly flora which inhabits this arid climate, the towering saguaro and the prickly cholla. I'll sleep under the stars and finally get a taste of the rugged Arizona Trail. I'm expecting this trip to challenge me and for the terrain to be relentlessly rough and beautiful. This will be my first solo trip in a while, and probably my hardest trip to date. For my first bikepacking trip of 2023, I'm off to the Queen's Ransom. Alright, so rode for about 6 miles and I'm finally en route, and I'm on this canal trail. Beautiful day out. It is so nice. Like, I mean, it was a little cold this morning, but like the type of cold that you're like really happy to be riding in, not the type of cold that Rob and I were in November. All right, I'm about to head up the Mountain Wash Trail. Sounds promising. Get off this tarmac anyway. Sheesh. This would be a good place to get poked. Oh, well, this is it. This is where I'm gonna call it for today. Just a flat spot right here. Got some great views looking out that way, and then over here, got some great views of the Superstition. So, and I'm knacked. Yeah, for this supposedly being the easy day, I'm tired. Let's get this tent up. Day one. Overall, I thought it was pretty fun. It was a fun day. Started out with me riding from the warm showers house that I was staying at to get to the route. It was super straightforward. It was like 6-7 miles, somewhere in there, to connect to the canal trail. And then you ride the canal trail and you're just riding along a canal, as the name implies. Those miles go pretty quick. Didn't have any real navigation issues. And then after that, you end up kind of riding on some roads, and then you hit this mountain bike park area, which eventually kind of leads you to the single track that you end up riding. So there's a big section called like the Hawes single track area. That was really fun.
mostly rideable. There was a couple tricky maneuvers that I didn't think were worth the risk, so I walked like some steep drops. But overall, I think it was like 99% rideable. And then after that, you end up moving on to this usury area, and that was my favorite part of the trip today. So you're just surrounded by all these giant saguaro cacti and those cholla cacti as well. It's like a cholla forest surrounding you, and you're kind of meandering on this really smooth single track that's like pretty flat too. So like you're making good time, you're weaving in and out of like all these big cacti. It's just really cool. You feel like you're immersed in the cacti. At Hawes, there was more rocky bits. At that usury trail, you were just surrounded by the cacti. And then you continue onwards. That's when I really started having to push. So there's a couple of hike-a-bike sections leading up to this campsite right here. I went about 40 miles today, and I did, I think, about 3,500 feet of climbing. I expect the days are gonna get harder, so the sun's starting to set now, so I need to eat some food here. I'm probably just gonna eat some sandwiches that I got yesterday instead of making a hot meal, and then kind of curl up in my sleeping bag. It's about 5:45 right now, so that's good for me to know. This is when the sun sets. And the sunset is great. Let's take a look at that. All right, it's about 8 o'clock. I'm getting started. A little bit of a late start. I've had my coffee, ate some trail mix for breakfast. I'm all packed up and ready to go. Don't know where I'm gonna end up tonight, but we'll see. All right, about a half a mile off the route is Goldfield Ghost Town. So I'm gonna take that little detour. This little ghost town was 0.6 miles away from where it was. There's like one main road. I managed to take like 8 wrong turns to get here. Okay, that's enough for me. Time to get back on the route. This section's got some hike-a-bike spots, which is pretty hard with one hand. Oh. Jacob's Crosscut Trail. That was bumpy. Kind of happy to be done with that section for right now. All right. If you're pushing your bike through a sandy drainage next to a highway on your vacation, you may have fucked up. I'm just kidding. I'm having fun. But I am pushing my bike through a sandy drainage. All right, so I just finished up on this section of trail called Cougar Trail. Now I'm on the Gold Mine Trail. And the single track here has actually been pretty nice. There's a couple bumpy sections, but overall it's pretty smooth and rideable. And great views. Kind of like some of the other views where you're just going through this valley of all these cacti. I picked up some miles on that tarmac back there, so I think I'm at about 30 miles, so I don't know. We'll see where I end up. Whoa! All right, it's 5 o'clock. I've gone only 36 miles. And there's a fire ring right here. I don't usually like to camp at spots like this because it's right by the road, but I'm gonna do it. All right, it is day 2 of the Queen's Ransom. The terrain was harder than yesterday. There were some smooth parts, but there was also a lot of really rocky, chunky bits, and it was just really slow going for me. I mean, it was rideable. It was super slow going. And then even exiting the Superstitions, there was a lot of really chunky baby head descent to get out of that area. And then I got to this area, I thought I was gonna get some burritos and tacos, but that place was closed. Well, so much for that plan. Not open. Okay, plan B, Subway. So I was kind of bummed out I had to go to Subway, but I gotta say, this was the best Subway I've ever been to, just like super clean, the staff was dialed. It's weird, a lot of these sections out here, you like go through these suburbs and then there's just like this trailhead. I ended up getting on this trail and that was probably my favorite part of this ride. I can't remember the names. There was one section was called Cougar and then there was Gold Mine. Like that area was super cool. Pretty rideable for the most part. Just really, really pretty. I mean, the Superstitions were amazing too. So like the riding today, though it was tough, it was super scenic. It was just slow going, man. It whooped me. Hey, a hot air balloon. Look at that. Wow, so pretty. I've been wanting to do a harder route on bikepacking.com, so you know how they have their rating system. And the hardest route I've ever done was a 6.5, which was in Utah. And this route is an 8 out of 10. You really get why when you're out here riding. It's just the miles do not come easy. And then that coupled with the filming, you know, there's a lot of stuff as I'm moving along. I'm like, oh, I should stop and film this. Like there was this little wooden bridge and it's like, you know, the clip would be 3-4 seconds maybe. But for me to set it up and then, you know, get the shot, pack everything back up, it'd probably take me, you know, a couple minutes. And you start counting each one of those times up and all of a sudden it's like 3 in the afternoon and you've only done 23 miles and you're like, huh, I better start hammering or something because I'm not gonna make it at this rate. All right, this is enough blabbering. Let's eat something. Come out to Phoenix to go on a bikepacking trip to escape the cold. The morning lows are 24 degrees. You fucked up. Just kidding. I mean, kind of. This is good though. I'm stoked to be out here. What a cool area. Queens Valley. Whew, made it to Superior. I don't think I'm gonna stay here. I'm just gonna grab some food, like re-up, and then head on out of here. All right, I'm on this lost trail at sort of the bottom of the canyon. This is cool. This is a really neat trail. Check out this great campsite. Wow, that is a perfect spot, but still too early in the day for me to call it here. You got these great rock formations all around you, and there's some water running nearby too, actually. So this is a really cool spot. But we are not staying here. Man, this place is cool. I think part of it is just like, it's so unexpected, right? Down in this canyon with all these big saguaro cacti. I want to just post up here. I'm not going to, but man, this is a really cool canyon. I'm glad. You know, when I was looking on the map, it has you, like, you end up hitting picket post, but instead of just going right through, you go all the way around and you hit Superior, and then you kind of go on this lost trail. And I was looking at it and I was like, why would I do that? It's so out of the way. It just seems like extra miles, but this is part of it. And this is really cool. The stream and the cacti and the cliffs and the canyon. Wow, awesome. Okay. See, here's the problem. I probably just spent, I don't know, 15 minutes screwing around, like taking pictures, getting video. And there's a difference between moving slowly and not moving. And I move slowly and I'm not moving. So it just eats up the day. That's why I'm so slow. Oh well. Oh, first one. All right, I think I'm gonna call it camp here. Take this little choya out of my ankle. But if you can hear that, right next to the water. So I did about 41 miles today. Not great, good enough. So yeah, this looks like a great spot to post up. Let's do it. I need to get that tent set up so it can dry out. And then I'm gonna try and clean my disgusting body. Let's see if we can get this joy out first. Ow! I'm sure you can't see it, but there's little spikes that are left in. Whew. That's it. Well, I'm all cleaned up. It's 5:23. Also today I think was the easiest day out of the 3 for me. I think it's because you were mostly on double track today. So the miles just came a little bit easier. There wasn't as much single track that just slowed you down. So that was good. And I think my favorite part of the whole ride today was definitely Arnett Canyon. Just stunning. And again, I don't know if I'd say that if I was here in June, right? But right now in January when that water's flowing, it's beautiful in there. Couple of mishaps today. Stupid. Can't believe I dropped my bottle. So I go to look down and lube my chain up, and then I take a peek at my cockpit. Uh-oh, what's missing? One of my water bottles popped out. That sucks ass. If you go on a bike packing trip and you look down and one of your water bottles isn't in your feed bag anymore, you fucked up. Rook move, Wilson, rook move. I'm stoked to be out here on the Arizona Trail. The Arizona Trail is something, the whole trail is something that I've always wanted to do. And this route allegedly is a good kind of shakedown to see if if you really want to do the Arizona Trail. I mean, so far it's been amazing. Shout out to John Schilling, the creator of the route. Really impressed. There's a couple spots where I was like, what the heck, why am I going this way? Why am I going over to Superior? And it's like, oh, it's because I'm gonna go down that lost trail. And I was like, okay, I see, that's great. That was a great trail. That's it for right now. Battery's about to die on that. Electronics, ah. All right, it's about 6 o'clock and it's 27 degrees out. So I'm just warming up some water, getting some coffee going. Probably gonna get a little bit of an earlier start just because I can't sleep. So yep, that's the plan. It's chilly out again. And as I predicted, camping down by the water here, everything is wet. So far so good. Still have more climbing to do. It's a cool trail. It's really pretty out here. I'm digging it. Spirits are high so far. We'll see how it goes as the day progresses. Kind of in that frustrated headspace right now. Just going so slow. The miles here are slow and hard. So I just, in the back of my mind, I'm like, am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? That kind of stresses you out. My front tire keeps losing air, so I'm having to stop every once in a while and pump it up. Man, it feels like I'm riding a bike again. I don't know what that was back there. It was like a combo of pushing and trying to ride a bike and just going so slow forever. And so now, finally hit kind of a smoother spot coming down the hill. And I feel like I'm actually making decent miles. So what do? I stop. You know, that's the thing with bike packing. It's like you hit these low lows and high highs and the terrain changes, and a terrain change can just make such a big difference in everything. And look, I could get 200 yards from here and be back in that kind of frustrated state. And I'm expecting it because there's a big hill that's coming up. and I think it's gonna be more of what I was going up. So, all right, let's keep ripping. Yeah, I feel like I'm ripping now. Spanked. Oh, I'm at a low point, all right. You know, the good news is, if this is my low point, then it's all uphill from here, right? Arizona blowdowns. Poked. Oh, okay, I'm calling it right here. So I'm right, like the Kelvin Bridge is right there. I just filled up with water at ADOT. Met some weird people there. The dude was joking about how he was gonna hire a hitman so that he could take my camera and my bike, because I was talking to him about Florence, and he said it's full of jails and it's just a weird place. I don't know. Anyway, so I rode up the hill a little bit. Here I am. I did 37.6 miles, 5,000 feet of climbing, according to this, which is always inaccurate, so I don't believe it. That whooped me. You know, that was the day that I was most worried about. And for good reason. Home sweet home. Oh, that was a day. Yeah, I'm pretty knackered today. I don't know, that whole section after I got up today and started riding, it started out okay, and then it just got really hard. Like once you started climbing, I think there's just so much pushing, and like you would try and ride a little bit, and then you would only get like 10, 15 feet, and then you'd have to stop. It was cool though. I mean, type 2 fun for sure. Like, in retrospect, I'm like, oh yeah, that was great. But while I was doing it, man, I was like, this is rough. It's nice to just be able to talk to myself, because I haven't talked to anybody. I've just talked to those crazy people who want to put a hit out on me. But besides that, I haven't really talked to anybody. Oh yeah, and the ATVers, who basically were like, oh, you're going that direction sucks. Like, that's the roughest stuff that we've ever been on. Okay, packed up, ready to go, chains lubed up, tires pumped up. I've got a little bit more of the Arizona Trail to do. I've got a hill to start with, and then things should smooth out and flatten out. So we'll see. Let's go. It is here where I will be leaving the Arizona Trail, and I'll be heading on a dirt road going that way when the Arizona Trail keeps on going that way. So stoked to have ridden some sections of the AZT. I think I rode a really beautiful section too, so really excited that I got to do that. And now I'm hoping for a little bit of easier terrain.
flat.
All right, I just put a thing of sealant in there, pumping it up. On the tarmac, I've got a tailwind going that way. I am stoked. Woo! This is a hell of a way to finish the route. Riding through this sandy wash, this sandy trail. It's hard to ride, more like pushing. Been doing a little bit of riding, but oh. Had some good momentum going. Not anymore. All right, luckily my complaining worked and that wash trail didn't last very long. So now I'm on the Santan trail. Way better. Do you see what I see? Woo! All right, behind me is the Phoenix area, so not too far from a hotel, I don't think, though I'm racing sunset, so you can see right there. So I should probably stop talking and get to riding. The Santan trail's actually been pretty cool. It's smooth and flowy. It's not like the sandy wash trail. There you go. All right, let's hit it. All right, I'm stopped at this taco shack before I hit the hotel because the hotel I booked, there's nothing around there. So, cheers. What's up, bruh?
Look at you. Oh, Chris, with your eyes.
If you saw up close, I have like salt stains all over my face. Yeah, it's not a pretty sight, Parker.
That looked incredibly difficult.
What, from the few pictures I sent you?
Every picture you sent, I was half happy I was not there and half sad I was not there.
I only sent you the pictures where it looked hard, bro. Alright, if it is your last night in town and you decide you want to try and save a couple bucks and get the cheap hotel, and this is what it says on the door. You fucked up. Yeesh. This is gonna be the sketchiest part of the whole trip, this hotel. It's rough here. Yeah, I'm gonna watch Lail's video again and realize that she did that whole section that I did in like 4 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Comparison is the thief.
I know it. Yeah.